Today we're going to talk again about compressed gas cylinder safety, and we talked about this last week, and we're going to cover a different portion of the subject today. We use compressed gases for a variety of tasks. We have looked at the storage of the cylinders. Now we're going to today look at some tips for handling the cylinders and using them. With regard to handling and transporting, you should transport cylinders securely in a cart that's designed for cylinder use. Now, on job sites, as we have to do that to move cylinders around, sometimes that's not necessarily possible because those kinds of carts are not something that we have readily available. However, with regard, if there is one available, then you should use it. Also, secure all cylinders during transport. Turn all the cylinder valves off. Attach the protective cap securely. Make sure that if you have gas bottles in transit, that the caps are on, tightened down. Prohibit cylinders to be used as rollers or supports for any kind of other equipment. Roll cylinders, if you can, across on their bottom edge when you're moving them short distances on hard surfaces. Now then, with regard to using compressed gases, inspect all cylinders and valves and regulators and hoses, torches, and other equipment prior to use. Position the cylinder valve end up when it is in use. Place cylinders away from burning and cutting operations. Vent the cylinder by slightly opening, that is cracking the valve prior to attaching a regulator or any hoses or piping. Avoid being in front of the valve opening when you're doing this. Then use the proper regulator for the cylinder to reduce pressure. Ensure that all connectors are free of oil and grease, and then ensure that fuel gas and oxygen hoses are easily distinguishable. All other lines are to be identifiable. Then disconnect hose couplings with a rotary motion and a pull. Open all valves slowly. Use a friction lighter to ignite any flame. Especially do not use the cheap disposable lighters that you find commonly available. Then also, when you're done, upon completion, close all valves and close cylinder valves tightly. Close needle valves finger tight to avoid damage to the valve or the valve stem. And then vent all hoses, and then use a diffuser regulated to less than 30 psi to blow away dust, dirt, and debris. These are some tips on using compressed gas cylinders. And so as we do this very often, we want to make sure that we're aware of how to handle them properly.